Hi, I'm Megan Williams, and I'm a sensualist.
Megan's roommate, Megan Dunbar, and I'm an anti-sensualist, kind of.
Some people would say opposites attract.
More a bit like the Tony Randall play, The Odd Couple.
Some people ask us when they come over for our dinner parties, how did you find another man, Megan? And I said, it was just by chance.
We met barn shopping. I was shopping for a barn because I collect classic cars. Classic car. I have one classic car that I would prefer to keep not in just an old garage. I don't remember why you were shopping for a barn.
I actually wasn't. I was doing some maintenance on that barn. I insulate a lot of copper tubing and copper pipes, and when I saw the real estate agent say, okay, Megan, let's show you this end of the barn, I lifted my head up and I saw this beautiful short-hair blonde, and she did a spin around and I saw a bushy beard on a man face, and I said, hey, I didn't work out with the sex, but maybe I could get a roommate going with two Megans. Hopefully he won't find out about that I'm a true Mohegan. And eventually he did, and he does bring it up at a lot of dinner parties, and he embarrasses me.
It was a law of the flip of the coin. In other words, it was a random chance. My name is Megan because my father thought we were having a woman. He was having a child that was going to be a woman, and they had already decided on Megan, and he was a very stalwart figure at the time, and he refused it. Stubborn as a bunny, and he wouldn't change his mind.
I was actually born, my official name on my birth certificate is Mohegan, and that's because I was born in Mohegan, Delaware, which is right near Wilmington. And at school people would say, what's your name? And I say Mohegan. And they say, where are you from? And I'm Mohegan. And they said, no, we know your name. Where are you from? Mohegan. And I got beat up a lot because of that. And day in and day out of that, you could, come to your own conclusions, but I changed my name to Megan. And then I thought that was a more masculine name.
How did that help with the slaps and the hitting?
It didn't help at all with any of the bullying and the slaps and the wedgies, but it did help a little bit for paperwork. What's your name? Megan Williams. That's a girl's name. I know. I'm a classic sensualist, and I knew this at a very early age. When I was around 5 or 6, my mother got me a couple action figures, and she said, now you can go to war with them. Shoot at these guys, and I would kill the two guys, and the blood would be coming down, and I would hold them against my body, and I felt that plastic just against my breasts, and that sensation of what they were going through, their agony against this physical cold, and it had just rushes through my head, and I just sobbed, and my mother came up to me and she said, Mohegan, what's wrong? Who won the war? And I said, it's not about war.
No.
It's about touch, and it's about this feeling I get, and it's about exploring.
He's hypersensitive. Even when I tap, watch this, I'll tap him right on the wrist. Just so much. Look at this, watch this. Just so much. And he's probably coming in his pants.
It causes a lot of problems. Sometimes I wear 3 or 4 boxer briefs when we go out because Megan will constantly fool with me. We're with our best friends, and I'll
try to fix his hair or something, and he'll go nuts.
I'll be up and I'll be giving a speech at my friend's wedding, and it's a very important moment to me, and Megan will sneak up behind me and I'll be like, you guys are so perfect for each other. I wish you the best of luck. And Megan will come touch me, and I'll explode right in my pants.
Or maybe he'll have some food in his beard, and I'll try to get it out, and then he'll come. And I don't even want to have that kind of relationship with him. I want to have just a platonic friendship relationship, but whenever I touch him, he comes.
After the action figure scenario, I noticed that, my senses were heightened. And one day my mom was making brownies, and I walked over to the kitchen, and I pulled on that oven door, and I took a big whiff of the odor and the warmth of those brownies. You can imagine how that smells. And I started rubbing myself against that door just to feel the warmth and the chocolate kind of entering in, and it was rocking back and forth. And I noticed my neighbors looking in, right, and noticing a boy doing this, and I turned to look at them and I said, this is who I am. I'm a sensualist. I'm exploring all parts of my body, and I'm inhaling the brownie, and my mom's watching, and it's like a beautiful symphony of families watching a young boy experiencing an oven for the first time.
Well, I unfortunately, on the other hand, suffer from dendiotis, which is the lack of feeling in my skin and my nose and my mouth and my tongue.
Here's an example of how I meet someone being a sensualist. Hi, how are you? I'm Megan.
And then he's into this. Right, so.
And I just take him in.
He enjoys it. He enjoys my smell, and I haven't even showered for a while.
And here, now we'll give you an example how Megan would introduce if I was a new friend. Oh, hi, how are you? Good to meet you.
Hi, how are you? Not so interesting.
See how the fingers aren't even clasped in? He's not feeling any of me. He's not using any of his senses to connect as a new friend.
And it's hard for me to get to know somebody because of that. Also, I have a lot of burns and cuts and bruises all over my body because I never know when I'm cutting myself.
When Megan said that she came down with bad case, when Megan said he came down with a bad case of dendiosis, I said, "What is that? That sounds like a made-up word. That sounds like a made-up word." And I looked up on the internet and some of my doctor's encyclopedias, and there was no dendiosis.
That's the whole dendiosis conspiracy, is people taking that stuff offline, and they're getting it out of the dictionaries because they don't want people to know that this condition exists.
Yeah. And I think that's really at the core, that's what makes us work. There's one Megan that, you know, I'm empowered with my senses, and another Megan that has dendiosis, which is pretty much the opposite of that, is no feeling and really no respect for his roommate in many ways.